Hello and welcome to Model Kit Stuff, and in this video we're going to do a Model Kit Stuff first and do a book review. So this book is all about the Henschel HS 129, and if you watched any of the Battle of the 132's videos, you'll know exactly why I've purchased this. So this book is all around this aircraft and is aimed at the modeller and has a build of the Sukimura model at the back end, which obviously I'm planning to build at some point. And so this seemed like the right product to buy into. So let's take a look at it and see what we think. This is a Valiant Wings publication from their Airframe album. This is number 17, and it's Richard A. Franks that is responsible for putting this together. And if we look on the back, we've got some of the insignia associated to this aircraft. And in the UK, it's retailing at around about £20 or a bit less. And when we turn to the first page, we can see that it's issued in May of 2021, and I literally received this about 2 or 3 days ago. I can't obviously find an ISBN number. It might appear at some point. We've got a little line drawing of the finished aircraft, which obviously, if you're not aware, the HS 129 was specifically designed in the late 30s as a ground attack fighter bomber, and it had to be built to a certain level of specification. So it has an armoured elements around the pilot and the engines. The book is divided up into an introduction, technical description, evolution, camouflage, models, and then there's a fairly extensive appendix and some line drawings in 1/72 scale. So the first page is actually a lot of publishing related information, copyrights and so on and so forth. It does give you the web address to which you can buy this book from, which is www.valiantwings.co.uk, and the ISBN number is located here, and it's 978-1-912-932-16-0. I must say before I go any further in this that I've purchased this from my own money. Valiant Wings do not know that I'm reviewing their book, and anything I say about this book is actually my view and is not influenced in any way by anybody else. So the next page is a glossary, and it talks you through all the terminology that you're going to see throughout the written text of this. So it goes into a fairly reasonable detail. It's quite a long list, but you've got something you can cross-reference back. When you go, what does that mean? You can come back here and find out what it means. There's also some nice period photographs in here. And then as we flip the page, we come to the preface, and we have really an introduction into the aircraft and how we got to the point where this aircraft actually exists. So it takes you basically through the history of the bidding process that ended up with the final aircraft. And we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 pages of introduction, so it's a fairly detailed introduction, and it is punctuated by quite a few black and white photographs. Now, it does say somewhere at the start of this that all the pictures in this are black and white because there is no museum version of this aircraft in all one piece, so they've had to sort of cobble together what they can. So a lot of these have come, a lot of the technical information will have come from technical manuals at the time. So we can see various photographs. It's actually a relatively small looking plane when you see people clambering all over it. But you do get some very good views of what she might look like. And yeah, I mean, look, this photograph here with a Russian sat in the cockpit. It's clearly quite tiny inside if you're the pilot. So we have some nice stripped down photographs in the field. So these aircraft saw service on the Eastern Front and Africa, and pretty much most of the theatres during the war. So then we get to the technical description, and they kick you off with an overall line drawing. For those of you that saw my review of the Sukimura kit, you'll remember that we were quite impressed that they'd included all of the rib structure for inside of the wings. But when you look at this drawing here, you can see that what Sukimura did was pay lip service to it, because there is no pressed panel detail on the kit, so it need a lot of modification to actually look accurate. So really, it's almost a bit of a gimmick. We have some very nice close-up photographs here. All of these photographs at this early stage have got a key explaining what is what, but it gives you an idea of things like cable runs. So clearly starting at the cockpit. So this is nice. They've got a photograph here, then they've redrawn the photograph so that they can label everything, but you can still see it clearly. So you've not got arrows all over the photograph. So as a modeler using this as a reference material, it's really nice and clear. So we can identify what things are without it ruining actually the picture that we want to look at. And they seem to have done that throughout. We've got some lovely blow-ups here of various bits of the equipment, the individual dials. So that's very, very nice. And you could really add some detail if you wanted to and go to town. So we've got the seat assembly there. We've got some pictures of it installed. More pictures with key. These will be out of the manual when the key is on top of them. I do like this picture with the shark's teeth mouth on it and the eye painted around the gun opening. The actual pages are quite thick and they're a bit glossy, so the feel of the book's really nice. So we moved here to the fuel tank, and you can see all the extra detail of the pipe work and what have you on the top there, and the strapping with the tank removed, which is interesting. Then we have some nice drawings of the fuselage interiors. You remember they're also included in the kit, but not to that level of detail, I don't think. So lots of blown up pictures, technical diagrams of small sections, which is really helpful. I mean, we've got the fuel lines laid out here, so if you did want to make an unskinned version of the wing on the Sukimura kit, it would be possible to put the extra detail in. You've got a full breakdown of what that all looks like. And then they've done the other wing with the pitot tube. Then we've got some engine pictures. Like many German aircraft, this was an inverted engine. So some quite nice pictures, but again, a lot of them out of manuals and stuff. So are drawings rather than and renders rather than photographs. There are some photographs in here, but there's some very nice close-up drawings which give you some real detail of the tube work and what have you. And then we have some nice colour photographs, so that's always really helpful. So we can see the level of detail is very good. They're getting up close with all the little elements that you might want to show off, and for those that want to super detail or show in a state of part stripped down, that's all done. And you could copy the damage to that propeller if you wanted. So there's lots of detail here for people of any level. Keep seeing pictures of that shark's tooth face, and we've got the gear here, all nicely drawn. Shows you wheel angles and bits and pieces there. Got the mounting positions for the guns, and then they're talking you through that. Ammunition boxes. So they spend quite a bit of time talking about each individual area, and I really like that because you can then focus on certain areas that are visible on the kit, or you intend to be visible on the kit. I also like the way they've spaced it out and mixed a combination of drawings and photographs, and it's not just you getting one drawing and that's it, that's your only reference. They're trying to give you different views and take you through it with a bit of detail, but knowing that it's actually a pictorial guide primarily. And lots of pictures, drawings, photographs, period pictures. It really is very in-depth. So now they're talking about bomb arrangements, so you can have a look at different arrangements and decide what it is you want to do. Talking about the some of the items that come with the bombs, you know, for supporting them into fitting onto the aircraft and so on. Then we've got different iterations with cameras and long range viewing and that type of thing. And what they've done as you've gone through this is broken it down into different sections. So you've got armament, electrical. So we have a nice drawing here of all the access panels and what they are. So you know that you're not going to put an oil stain on a water filling top, for example. So this section is miscellaneous. And then they move to evolution. So that's also good because it means that you can model your aircraft for and get the right evolution point for the period in time you've modelled it. Lots of CAD style drawings at this point, showing you the location of various different bomb racks and cannons. And again, they support everything with actual photographs so that you know it's not just speculation, it's actual well-researched information. There's the big tank-busting cannon. And then we've got markings. So there's 84 pages before we get to the markings, and just, where were we? 11 pages, weren't we? Yeah, so from page 12. So we've got 72 pages of technical information. So this is the shark's tooth look that we keep seeing, and I really do like that. It doesn't look particularly aggressive, does it? So this is the African livery, which is depicted on the box art of the Sukimura model. So there's many pages, glossy pictures to talk you through the different options you could have, quite like the stripy one there. And then we get to stencil marking details. So this is really nice, and it looks just like an Airfix stencil sheet really. So you've got the markings laid out, and you've got the positions of what everything should look like. So this side only, the first aid kit, and you know, the little markings that are beyond there, the dotted line. So if there's something missing, you might be able to source it or make it if you've got that ability. It's giving you dimensions so you can get things accurate. Really like that. That's really helpful. And we appear to have more markings. So this is in service with other countries. So foreign service, including the UK. And then we have the model. So they start with the Hasegawa 148 scale model. And they talk you through what needs to be done and how that can be built up. Showing you how some things should be painted to look accurate. Colour and marking. They show you masking, painting, talk about some of the techniques and some of the tools they've used to get that finish. Looks pretty good when done. And then they do the same again, but this time with the 132 scale Sukimura kit that we reviewed a little while ago. So it starts with an introduction to the kit and to Sukimura, and then starts taking you through the process of building this. So we can see, if you remember, within the sprue you had the option to put it on a stand, so that shows you the completed engine there on the stand, which looks really nice. You can see the weathering that's been done, and it's talking you through all of that. See all the detail of the build-up of the interior of the fuselage, much of which is seen, which is a little bit unusual because it has these openings and that you can utilise. So there's the wing interior we talked about, but doesn't really capture the level of detail of the real thing. It's the engine going on, building up of the aircraft, painting, some of the techniques used. Clearly the modeller had a talent. And then we go to the 172 Revell version. And then they talk about one or two other kits. So we've got an old Airfix one there. More kits about this aircraft than I realised, if I'm honest. Then they discuss some of the accessories that are out there, which includes decal options. And then they have a biography with other books that you may want to buy into for further reading. And then you have right at the end the 172 scale plans, so you could scale those up if you wish. In different formats, progressively bigger guns. So there you have it, the brand new Valiant Wings Henschel HS 129 book aimed at modelers. There's a wealth of information in there. It's very, very in-depth. Doesn't matter what level you're modelling to, there's something in there that you could take out of it. So yeah, I'm quite impressed with that. I think that's very, very, very good value for money. And if you're going to be buying and building one of these aircraft, particularly the Sukimura one, obviously, then I think this is probably a must-have, maybe. Okay, so thank you very much for looking in, and I hope this was helpful if you were considering possibly buying into this or weren't aware of this. So take care, everyone, and I will see you soon.